here's what I've done so far. So I picked one color as the base color for the skull. Alright, I picked that lavender. Now I took a yellow marker and I did just a couple areas around the skull with the yellow. Now obviously there's a lot of other areas that I can work with, so maybe I'm going to go into a different area. Some of the areas, if you wanted to, you could leave them white. That's fine. Alright. So maybe I'll go in here, put the blue in there. Alright. And again, I'm going to try to keep this symmetrical. So what I do on one side, I want to do on the other. Maybe I'll use the marker here in these areas, just kind of fill in these dots. I don't want to use 1,000 colors. Okay, just want to use a few colors that are going to give it some visual interest. All right. Maybe I'll come around here. Now the markers have two ends. Some of you guys remember these. There's a broad end, thick, and a fine point end. Obviously, if you're doing small areas, you want to use the fine point. So maybe I'll alternate. So I'm thinking about how I'm designing this. I'm doing alternating pinks here on every other one. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. You do need to think about a background. Alright, so what I did here on the background was I thought about the color of the skull, I thought about the area around the skull, so I decided to do a darker color in the background. And when you do the background color, it's best if, obviously, if you get up against the edge of the form first, get a nice clean edge, then I'm going to put some scrap paper out that you can put behind that. Alright, just a yellow piece of scrap paper. And then just use the marker and go down with solid strokes to fill it. Once I've gotten all the marker information done, I'm going to use colored pencil to accent the image. Alright, so if you take a look at this here, let me turn the light on so you can see it a little better. Alright, the base color was yellow. Then I used orange colored pencil here, and I went in and I created some gradation based on the contours of the skull. So I added some colored pencil techniques with gradient over top. The background I did with this bluish gray color, and then I used this red around the skull and developed a gradation or a transition out from it. Use some colored pencil on the inside. Alright, here's another example. Alright, I used the areas of the skull. It's hard to see, but I even used white on top of this gold color here to accent the highlights there. I used a darker blue than the blue that I have there to create some accent. Alright, I left the teeth white on this one. And then I did this dark background, and then over top of it, I created this white colored pencil. It's almost to create a nice, interesting texture. Alright, so that is the process for the sugar skull. Any questions?